All right guys, today I have the MST performance intake that is designed for the Toyota Corolla. They sent this to us a while ago, actually, before we had the car, and we're gonna test this on the car today and see how this fits. They've actually sent us a revised heat shield cover, so someone else in America has probably already tested this on the car. I'm not going for horsepower gains, I'm not testing all that stuff, I'm just actually confirming fitment and seeing if it brings any extra sounds or anything like that to the car. So let's get to it. So if you guys are familiar with the GR platform, we did a video on the GR86 on our 86 Speed channel. We've also done a lot of videos, and we sell a ton of the MST intakes for the GR Supra. So let's get into this, see what it's all about. Okay, and I'm going in blind to this, so I've never seen this. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to include, but it's going to have the adapter, a silicone hose, a clamp, and some bolts. So let's see what we got here. We got a tube. So this is going to work for the sensor. We got another silicone piece here. Set this off to the side. We have some couplers, some brackets. We have this air filter. And this is the silicone piece I brought out earlier. Actually, this is aluminum as well. Got this out. And this, I believe this is the earlier design, and I have another box. I'm going to check out the newest upgraded design. So let's get to it. So let's see what we got here. And this is 100% prototype stuff here, guys. But so as you can see, this is for the Yaris, and they've actually included and changed some of the parts out. But as most of you guys know, a lot of things are just a little bit different on a lot of parts on this car, but a lot of things are similar. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to pull this tray off, and I'm sure we're going to be pulling this off many times. And this is to get the actual air intake scoop, if you want to call it. That's what I'm calling it, to get that removed. So that's just going to removing these two clips here. You can see this actually is funneled in from right inside here. The air goes right into this unit and it feeds it right into the intake. So that's pretty cool from stock. So I'm going back here, I'm loosening this up so we can actually remove all this. I'm gonna be careful not to hit my carbon cover here. I gotta remove this whole mess here, so I'm gonna get this thing off. I've already broke it loose. This is an 8mm, that back one is a 10. Okay, so that leaves that. So we'll see what that says. So these are the instructions that I'm following here. So we're gonna have to disconnect that. So always when doing these, you gotta make sure that you get the screw out and do not lose it. So I'm promising you that well, I don't know, but the aftermarket air intakes usually use a completely different screw set because they're going into metal. But I always wanna, when I'm done with this, I'm gonna put the screws back in here. So let's get this thing off here. Okay, so I'm doing everything so that we can get this air intake box out soon here. This is need to get lifted out. We'll see how that gets dealt with. It's not loose enough, not yet. Okay. So let's take this top piece off. What they're asking us to do right now is to remove this vacuum line. This whole system, I'm not sure everything that it's all about, but they're asking us to unplug it from here. There's actually like a tri-T right here. So I'm gonna pull this off from here, and I'm gonna unclip it from this hard pipe that's back here. And I'm gonna be able to remove this box now. And I am skipping around a little bit on the instructions, but there we go. So this is the first time we've had this out. It's a little actuator here. This thing opens. Pretty interesting. So let's set this aside. And so they want me to take the intake cover off. I thought maybe I didn't have to. So we're gonna remove this. And get these lifted up. Make sure all our pieces are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're good. So they actually want us to remove this intake pipe. We got to get back here, and there's a bolt here that gets this whole tube, actually, this plastic tube, removed, and we're going to replace it with aluminum piece. So let me get back in here and get this bolt off. So guys, I'm going to figure out how to get in here, and this is where that bolt is that is holding this, basically like a hard plastic piece in. All right, guys, I was able to get in there with a combination of a 12-inch open-ended wrench. I used this to break it loose, but this is pretty tight back there. I came through the right hand, or this side, the passenger side, and then I was using this to break it loose. Now it's probably just gonna be easiest to honestly just finger this bolt out. Then we gotta get back to the other side, and we have to get the bolt, the clamp off for the rest of this tubing, and we need to remove that. All right, guys, so one tip here, I'm gonna put these clamps, the worm clamps, on an angle like this so I can just get in here with a gun or like a long extension and hit them this way. And my other one's gonna be right about here. So we'll see if I can get to that one as well. And this rear one, it wasn't stated in the instructions, but this was a 12 millimeter. And then the one on the other part of the clamp is a 10 millimeter. So I only got a couple more threads left, so let's get this guy out. Get this vacuum line out of the way, it also helps too. So now we gotta get back in here. Let me show you guys with the camera real quick. So we gotta get in here and get this bolt off now, right there. So we're gonna do that. That's gonna be the 10 millimeter. So I'm gonna use the smallest one that I have. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Try to get that on here. You guys might not be able to see all the dirty work. The heat shield's a little bit in the way, but I'm gonna slowly get to it. And maybe I need to get there we go. So the key is to get the ratchet down low. Maybe this is an under the car job. You can see I get my head back on there. So now I can get it with my finger. And they're gonna want me to remove this pipe. Actually, there's two of these here. I bet you they want me to remove this other one. So let me get this one out. They're gonna want me to remove the one closest to the driver's side for the USDM car, because I bet you this other piece is purposely set here for flex. Okay, so this clamp's pretty loose. I'm gonna tighten this one actually back up. And there goes. Really? We're gonna have to get back to getting our ratchet, but let's see if this piece comes out now. I think I'm gonna have to loosen this up a little bit more. So I was pulling, but there's, just taking my time and looking, there's actually another bolt on the lower side. So I'm gonna try to get that from this angle. It's right above the O2 sensor. What I don't wanna do is drop this ratchet either. You just want to show, but I can't get my tool on here.
I see it.
So guys, this is the extra part on the bottom and why this wasn't spinning. So again, I broke it loose. I'm gonna be able to do this with my fingers. So let me grab my tool, the 12 millimeter on the bottom, and I'm gonna do the rest by hand. Pull this out. So the picture doesn't really show this one. So basically there's a top and a bottom that are mounted to this bracket. And then a 10 millimeter on the worm clamp. Get my arm under there. Okay, so that's the guy. Okay. We'll see what we got here. Without looking at the instructions, I think this is going to be the guy. So you guys can see the diameter of the pipe is a little bit larger. This one will actually trump right over top of that one. So we just need to figure out how to get this to adapt. As you can see, they're actually the same size. So when I said something about the worm clamp, it's the one that's to the passenger side, driver's side, sorry, that you want to loosen, and you want to keep that little flex hose in there. Or we got some other parts. Let's see what they want us to do. I told you that the coupler needed to stay. It looks like we're going to be replacing it with this coupler, which is a step one. So we're going to get this on here. We got to get that other one off, and then this is going to go on and in like this, actually. So let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to take this out. And we're going to be replacing it with this. See how this matches up? And then this is going to be the larger diameter for the new pipe. And I'm going to assume we're not using these again. This in. Slide this in. All right, guys, so we got this pipe in, we got the clamps in, we got the 8mm worm clamps, so I can kind of access them this way, as this will probably need to rotate. So what they want us to do next is they want us to take out these pieces here, which are the mounts for the OEM bushings. All you gotta do is you just push them out like this. So really easy to do. And we're gonna get the box ready to actually mount in the car. We're gonna put this black plastic tray back in, and then we're gonna put the piece back through, and we're gonna actually install the sensor back in as well. So just follow us along as we do that. All right, guys, so what I had to do is I had to attach these brackets. These are done with a 3mm Allen key, and all the bolts and everything are included in the kit, and it's actually like a nut welded on the part here. You can see through this little hole, that's your alignment hole. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach that to these two mounting points here and here. And that's gonna come in just like this. Okay, but first we gotta get this tray back in. All right, so this is the OEM radiator cover. We're gonna put that back on. But I do have a word that we have a sample piece that's made in carbon. So let me grab that and see how that looks. So let's get these clips in. How do you guys think you like this carbon piece? So this is from our friends over at Specialties. And this is just gonna fit right in just like OEM. We already put, behind the scenes, we already put this rubber piece on, which is super cool. And let's get this in. So I think they're gonna make a provision to actually cover this or change this. So in case you guys take this filter off on an intake like this, we'll work with the factory unit and go from there. So let's get this in. All right, so we're just gonna get this mounted up in here, like I was showing you guys. And this comes around here, and it mounts to this location right there. So you guys can see that there. So I'm gonna get the bolts in through here, and I'm gonna get the back one in here, and then we're gonna put the tube in, and we're gonna get our sensor plugged in and go from there. So one pro tip, we're gonna put this through here and get this in place. We already put our sensor in. We'll just set this down real quick here. And this is just easier to get this in, make sure you get it in all the way. Okay, and then we're gonna come back, we're gonna take this, we're gonna push this through here and get this right in place here. So one tip they want us to do is they want this on the inside per the instructions. So they want this to be in here, and then when you put your filter on, it kind of sucks everything up together and puts it all in place. So we'll get that there, and then we'll get these bolts in the bottom here, get this mounted in place, and go from there. All right, so we tightened up all the bolts down here. We got the one on the back side, and we went through and got this for you guys. And the last thing we gotta do is plug this in. We've already put our sensor in, the same 3mm Allen keys, and we're just gonna pop this in place, let it click. This really you don't have to worry too much about. It's just gonna set here in place. You know, you can probably zip tie it here if you really want to. I got one more thing. This is from our friends over at Specialties, along with this radiator cover stay. And this is just gonna pop in place right here. The final product's gonna be just taped on with some 3M tape, but the fitment is really good on this, and it'll just come on in here and fit just like that, like a glove. All right, guys, so we're gonna install this. Earlier we had the HKS cover on. We added some extra accents here, as well as to this turbo logo. So I think this is gonna look really, really good. I think all carbon would look sweet, but we just wanna change it up and just kind of let you guys check it out and see what it's all about. So let's go take this thing for a spin. Let's start this up. hear a little bit more turbo flutter. You can hear it bleeding off some of the turbo sounds and stuff. We do have the MBRP dual exhaust on the car right now, so but I can still like really easily hear the sounds up front. I can hear the turbo whistle. Crack the window, see if you guys can hear it. So that's a little bit of bleed off. I can just hear the turbo still spooling at the end there. It's a pretty cool sound. So as far as like horsepower numbers, which is probably what a lot of you guys want to know, we're just going to leave that up to the independent testers as well as the manufacturer to see what they actually come up with on this car. On this, we're just kind of testing one of the early production pieces. We do a lot of fitment work for those guys. We've worked on the Supra with them and the old 210 Corolla as well as the GR86. So this thing rips, man. It's pretty good. I don't know if you can catch that noise, but as the turbo is just winding down, it just is going shh. You guys hear it? Alright guys, well stay tuned. Let's just get back to the shop. We got some more testing to do on this thing. And stay tuned to the next video. Tell us what you guys like about this video and what you guys want to see in some of the future videos. We got a couple more products on the way. I think we have our suspension will be coming up soon. I think we're going to do a wheel fitment guide in the very, very near future. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next video.